Kuma from Nerdy Bear Studios, he has a question. He says, "Is creating your works, how do you approach your intersectional moments through like cultural neurodivergence, lived experience, if that makes sense to you?"
So for me, writing is like math. Um, if you think about algebra, you're like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? I show up with my c squared, which is basically as an audience member, how do I want you to feel? What do I want you to walk away with? What do I want you to learn? How do I want you to shift? What is the way that I want to impact you at the end of this narrative? Because for me, I'm like, I'm too lazy to write just for the sake of writing. Like if I'm writing, it's for a purpose, and that purpose is normally because I want someone to understand something. I want someone to feel something. And as a neurodivergent person, I think a part of it is also I want you to know how I felt so that we can better understand one another. So when I write, um, the plot points have to add up. So if you think about dialogue, right? If we start a scene and 10 lines in, character B is yelling at character A, that means that I have nine lines of setup. You got to feel that momentum build. You got to feel that grow. The way that they speak, the way that they're like kind of angled towards one another, everything has to add up. Because for me, and I feel like this is a part of like where the neurodivergence becomes a superpower. For me, if it doesn't add up, I can feel it viscerally. If it doesn't align, then it's like if it doesn't align, then it is like the to me mentally, it feels like having a wet sock. Like not a
Oh,
soaking wet sock, but like where you step on like just like one drop and you're like, it's not
I
soaking wet,
feel
but
it.
it's
Yeah,
also not
Yeah.
dry. And
Yeah.
I can tell, or like a rock in the bottom of your shoe. You're like, that's not supposed to be there.
yeah.
Mentally, that is the sensation that I get when I'm writing something and it doesn't add up. So what I try to do is lean into my message. What is the message? What do I want you to walk away with? And if I look at it and everything doesn't calculate, then I got to go redo my math. I gotta line things up properly. But it's weird because it's like most people look at writing as like creative, it's free flowing, and I'm like, for me, writing is not creative. For me, writing, right? For me, writing is like building a puzzle, but you don't know what's on the front of any of the pieces until you've already put all the pieces in order. It's like doing a puzzle with it flipped over. Like you take all the pieces, you make everything fit, and then you flip it, and you're like, oh, there's the image. There's the Here's the thing. But prior to that, you're just in the dark. You're like, I don't even know if this is a puzzle. I don't even know that I can't find these corners. I don't know. I don't even know. Which would make you wonder is like, why'd you choose to be a writer? It's like the only thing I'm good at. So we're here.
I kind of know that feeling when I plan to do stuff and I'm thinking, my wife, what are you doing? And I'm like, trust the
Oh.
process. It's gonna plan out. I don't ask me how I know. It just will. So yeah, I kind of get that part.